Welcome to Unsolved Crime Uncovered, where today we unravel an extraordinary tale of resilience and retribution. This is a story of a young man named Marcus, whose troubling journey from the depths of despair led him to a confrontation with one of the city's most powerful figures, only for the tables to turn in the most unexpected way. Buckle up as this tale spirals into the extraordinary.
You know, I've seen a lot of kids like you come and go.
And what makes you think I'm just another statistic, Mr. Kline?
In 2023, in the heart of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a young man named Marcus DeLuca rose from the shadows of poverty that never wanted him. Abandoned by his parents, he was raised in a group home where survival meant learning the hard truths of life. Trust no one. Always be on guard. He was a bright kid with dreams of becoming an architect. Yet, as he roamed the cracked sidewalks, he was repeatedly reminded by the world, and especially by a power-hungry conglomerate owner named Vincent Kline, that he was just a statistic, a failure waiting to happen. At 22, with no family to support him and society's expectations weighing heavily on his shoulders, Marcus found solace in the ordinary rhythms of life. But while he scrubbed dishes and bussed tables, Vincent Kline, a ruthless billionaire with plans to erase parts of Marcus's neighborhood for his new development, loomed above him, a constant reminder of the power dynamics that govern their lives. On one fateful night, Kline had been ruthless in his disdain for the neighborhood, laughing with his companions about the residents who would be uprooted for his profit. A flash of anger ignites in Marcus's chest as he pushes the door open accidentally, overhearing them. "You don't get to decide who deserves a place to live." He steps back, but Kline notices him. Asterisk. Well, what do we have here? Just a young loser thinking he can change the world. Marcus's face burns with humiliation. In that moment, he became the underdog, just a harmless nobody in the eyes of the powerful. But beneath his quiet exterior smoldered a fierce fire. He was not ready to accept Kline's judgment or his fate. The next day, Marcus finds an old blueprint of the neighborhood in a forgotten corner of the diner. He studies it, revealing secrets hidden for decades. On the plans are notes about a historical building that Kline overlooked, an iconic site with historical significance that could halt his developments. Could this be his chance? Armed with newfound knowledge, Marcus sets out not just to save his home, but to expose Kline's ruthless plans. He began gathering evidence, enlisting the help of his fellow residents, and even digging deeper into Kline's shady financial dealings. Montage of Marcus interviewing locals, faxing documents to public agencies, and working late into the night. Each piece of evidence was like a piece of armor. He realized the more people he gathered around him, the stronger he became. Days turn into weeks. Tension builds as Marcus approaches a crucial meeting with the community board to present his findings. Cut to Kline, who is now aware of the growing unrest. And then came the day of reckoning. Scene shifts to the community board meeting. Members chat anxiously, and Kline enters the room casually, dripping confidence. Looking at Marcus, isn't it adorable? An underdog trying to play with the big dogs. "Let's hear what you have to say, Marcus." The crowd silences, eyes darting between Marcus and Kline, anticipation thick in the air. What Kline didn't know was that Marcus was gathering more than just courage. He brought secrets, facts, and support. Marcus stands up, hands shaking but determined. "Vincent, you may think you can tear down this community, but we're not just statistics, and I have proof of your empty promises and illegal activities." The room buzzes with murmurs. Kline's face drops as the weight of the nobody begins to intimidate the giant. The camera zooms in on Kline's contorting face, anger boiling as he senses that his empire might collapse. The suspense is palpable. And just as Marcus is about to show the evidence, the lights flicker, the power goes out, and shouts echo from outside. Kline's men had arrived. This was his last act of intimidation. The screen fades to black as Marcus's voice echoes in the silence. "This fight isn't over yet." Rhea stared at the worn photograph in her trembling hands. The edges frayed and the colors faded to sepia. The image depicted a younger version of her father, a mischievous grin plastered across his face, standing next to a woman she'd never seen before. They were smiling, their joy seemingly infectious, and Rhea felt a pang of longing. Who was this woman that seemed to mean so much to him? The attic was dimly lit, dust motes swirling in the air like forgotten memories. Rhea had stumbled upon the box of keepsakes while sorting through her late father's belongings. Each item spoke to her, yet it was this photograph that stirred something deep within her, awakening a curiosity she tried to suppress for years. "Rhea!" Her mother's voice echoed from below, snapping her back to reality. "Dinner's ready." With reluctance, Rhea tucked the photograph back into the box, its mystery lingering in her mind like an unfinished book. She made her way down the creaky stairs, heart heavy with unasked questions. The familiar smell of roasted chicken filled the air, but it felt more like perfumed smoke to her, enticing yet distant. "Did you find anything interesting?" her mother asked with a casual air, stirring mashed potatoes. Rhea hesitated, searching her mother's eyes for answers that seemed locked away beneath layers of sorrow. "Just some old photos. I didn't realize how many there were," Rhea replied, careful to keep her tone light. Her mother's expression shifted, a flicker of something. Fear, perhaps? Sometimes it's best to let the past stay buried. Rhea's heart raced at the implication behind those words. Why? What's wrong with knowing more about Dad? He was complicated, Rhea. You don't need to go digging into things best left alone. The finality in her mother's voice was chilling, yet it only fueled Rhea's determination. After dinner, Rhea retreated to her room, the photograph playing over and over in her mind. Unable to shake off the feeling of dread that accompanied her mother's warning, she decided she would investigate further. With some quick research, Rhea discovered the woman in the photograph was named Elena Torres. A simple online search led her to an old obituary, revealing that Elena had passed away under mysterious circumstances a few years before her father's death. The more she read, the more her heart raced. There were whispers of betrayal and rumors of an affair that shook their small town, a narrative that painted her father in a shadowy light. Curiosity piqued, Rhea was determined to find out more. She started compiling her clues, jotting down notes and places to visit. But just when she was about to delve deeper into the case of her father's past, her phone buzzed violently on her desk. It was a message from an unknown number. "You shouldn't be looking into this. Leave it alone while you still can." Rhea stared at the screen, chills running down her spine. Who was this person? Did they know what she was investigating? Heart pounding, she glanced at her door, as if expecting someone to burst through at any moment. Could she proceed with her search, knowing there was someone threatening her to stop? This newfound mystery, intertwined with her father's past, was more than just a quest for answers. It was becoming a danger she hadn't anticipated. Determined, Rhea took a deep breath as the sunlight faded outside her window, casting long shadows across her room. She would not be intimidated. But just as she reached for her list of places to investigate, a loud knock echoed from her window. Startled, she turned, her heart racing once more. There, in the twilight, stood a figure silhouetted against the last rays of light. Rhea's breath hitched as she recognized the familiar outline. Was it really him? "Rhea," the figure called softly, and then everything went cold. Next time, Marcus will discover that exposing the truth is only the beginning. As the walls close in, allies may betray him, enemies will strike from the shadows, and a secret buried in the heart of the city could change everything. Will Marcus fight against the darkness closing in on him? Will he transform the tables for his community? Or has the giant's grip tightened too much for him to escape? If you enjoyed this story of courage against adversity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for updates on Part 2 and more unforgettable tales. Until then, remember, sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones we least expect. Part 2, The Secret Beneath the City. Coming soon.